That moment you get triggered as, and you can end that sentence. Wow, what a journey it is. Dissecting, learning, and understanding our triggers. Damn, man, it's been such a powerful part of my learning, spiritual growth, development, learning my triggers. It's one of those areas where I would say it feels like it's the hardest place to be really honest. Because once we're triggered, it's so easy, it's so quick to blame, to point the finger, to take no responsibility whatsoever, to project it and put it all onto the person, situation, circumstance of whatever is happening to me right now. And I'm going to zone into relationships for triggers because I feel that's such a powerful place for us to be and get triggered. Me personally, through intimate relationships, the big triggers for me was what I developed and the unconscious memories that were stored in my memory bank from my childhood, from the relationship with my mum, navigating through the mother wound, navigating through a father wound. Damn, just all this stuff, these wounds, these emotional wounds going on that get reignited and lit up within us when we have someone in front of us, which almost like galvanizes and brings this and unearths this to the surface. And that, my friends, is the real key gambit to this, is that when we get triggered in this now moment, we are reigniting old unconscious memory from our past. And why it's really powerful, and why it's so good that we do get triggered. It's so beneficial because one, it's telling us we still have past issues still going on within our nervous system, and two, it's given us a really healthy idea of where we are within our nervous system, how volatile our nervous system is when it comes to our own state of regulation. Because a trigger is a really interesting thing, because someone could trigger you one day. In 6 months' time, if you're on a process of resolution and regulation and healing, they could do the exact same thing, and it won't create that fire within you, which feels like that triggering moment, which can create volatility, explosiveness, volatility, and reactivity within you. 6 months' time, you may not get that. They could do the exact same thing again, but your inner world is calm. It's not suppressed emotion either. It's not suppressed gnarliness with the outside that looks calm. It's inner and outer. There's an alignment process that's happened, which is you've healed through a specific trigger. You've healed an unconscious memory. And when it comes to our relationships with our parents, they're one of the key flavors to the human experience of what we experience in the now moment. And especially when it comes to our intimate relationships with our partner, when we really hit that depth of intimacy with someone, we're in that real vulnerable ground of our defenses are down, and there's more of an opening for us to be triggered. We're not wearing a mask. We're completely laid bare. And it's within those moments where we almost have those moments of surrender, and we're with someone, we're almost opening the door for hiring the percentage chance to be triggered. That's why our intimate relationships are so powerful when it comes to what's being reflected back at us. What is the trigger? What is it here to teach me? Well, my friends, it's here to teach us that there's something unresolved within us. And the power that comes behind even the recognition of the trigger and of what is happening within you in itself is enough to diffuse, to start the dismantling process of that energetic, unresolved process within you. Once you mix this with the emotional processing of things like breath work, somatic work, that deep cellular realignment, you harmonize that as well with the recognition. You're on this really positive momentum to start dismantling all of your triggers. And that's quite, I'm saying that quite absolute when I say all. It could be just a lessening of volatility of what's happening within you, because the journey seems to be there's this unearthing going on within us, which means there's going to be triggers all along the way, but it's how we handle them, it's how we are, it's how our nervous system can process the trigger within the now moment. And if we're dysregulated, we're depleted, our level of volatility is up massively, and we lay the foundation for that trigger to really start marinating within our energy framework and could continue to be within our awareness and our aura for longer than what would really be necessary. When we're fully aligned, our nervous system is regulated. If we get triggered with this, like this instantaneous autonomous recognition, that's going, this has happened, it's okay, back to safety. And there's another key word as well, this feeling of safety. When our nervous systems are not used to being regulated, they're not used to the transformational power and feeling of feeling safe, our volatility is increased and our capacity to be triggered is increased. These unconscious memories which come from a feeling of threat from our early development. That's why they're stored, and that's why they're so powerful, and that's why they come to the surface due to the energetic power that lies behind the trigger. When we're talking about the connection with our mother and our parent and our caregivers, if we experience a lot of volatility and unsafety when we're younger, we're storing that within our subconscious mind and deep in the unconscious. Stored and unprocessed, ready to be reignited by our later intimate partners. And it really helps, my friends, that you are with someone who you're intimate with, who you're both down with this. You're down with being accountable, keeping each other accountable, reflecting, being aware of this, you're reflecting stuff on each other, to be both intertwined with the knowledge of how powerful each of your past is on this now union as you come together. And you need to be both on the same pathway, the same trajectory when it comes to this understanding and this specific linear, non-linear trajectory of development. Because you're both at certain stages, you're going to be reflecting different things onto each other. At one point, I'm going to see my mum, my partner's going to see their dad. I'm like, you can see this like this weird game of false perception, which what a trigger is. A trigger is false perception. It's not real. There's no truth there. But it's a guidepost to guide you to truth. It's to guide you to the truth of what you are. And that's why a trigger is so powerful. It's the most potent, one of the most potent grounds for you to learn from. So what are you doing now? Are you learning from your past? Have you dived deep into how you've been formed, how you've been shaped, how you've been developed up to this point? Are you blaming your partner? Are you blaming the people in your life for your inner reactivity, volatility, an unprocessed memory, unprocessed healing that's going on within you right now? Where are you playing a victim? Where do you need to step into your full empowerment when it comes to being triggered? Where do you need to be more honest? Where do you need to really have a true look? Where do you need to expand your perception, perspective, to look down on yourself and your world to see how things are unfolding? I often talk about this mirror principle of life, and this is where it's really at its roots and its core for our learning and development, to really help us iron out these triggers that are discordant vibrational frequencies within our energy field. So start today. Start to explore, start to ask questions. Where can I be more honest? Where can I communicate myself a bit better? Where can I express this? How can I express how I feel right now? How can this benefit me? How can expressing where I am with this trigger and being honest, how can that be beneficial to me? I want to feel that. I want to experience that. I'm ready to be that right now to help myself heal, as well as that the person in front of me as well, because we both come together as one and transform with this juicy, delicious intention to move forward in this human experience. Thank you, my friends. This is such a deep comment. Please comment, like, share your comments and where you're at right now when it comes to being triggered, and be honest with where you are. Be honest in the comments, and let's be received. Let's be open to be received with wherever we are right now. Sending you so much love, my friends, and I can't wait to hear and see from you in the next video.